Problem 11.95. This is part of a series of problems about a competitor on a team in a tug-of-war game. And in each of these problems depends on things we've done previously, so you might need to go back and refer to those if you haven't seen them already or done them. But briefly, there's this person has the tension in the rope pulling forward. There's some friction, static friction force his hands are exerting, so the tension behind him is less. He's leaned back at an angle of 30 degrees, and there's a coefficient of friction of 0.64 between his feet and the ground. And so now we want to know what happens if the static coefficient of friction suddenly decreases to 1/2. And our options are that his entire body could accelerate forward, that his feet would slip forward, that his feet would slip backwards, or that there will be no slipping occurring. So we want to figure out what the maximum force of static friction is, and then see whether the balance of the tensions is enough to cause that to be exceeded. So from earlier problems, we know that in this situation, T1 minus T2 is equal to 302 newtons. So this is the horizontal force acting on him that friction has to balance, otherwise he will slip. So the maximum static friction force that can be applied, so the less than or equal to the maximum, the 0.5 coefficient of friction times his mass, which from before we know is 80 kilograms, times g. And this is 392 newtons. So the maximum static friction force is greater than the difference in the tensions, even with this reduced coefficient of friction. And so he's not going to slip. So he still has 90 newtons of sideways force left before he will, even at the lower coefficient of friction.